Part 1, The Return. Clara hadn't planned to come home for the festival this year. Work had been exhausting, the city loud and unyielding, and she had promised herself she would avoid nostalgia at all costs. Yet, somehow, here she was, standing on the familiar streets of her childhood town, the crisp autumn air brushing her cheeks, every corner seemed unchanged. The bakery with its cinnamon smell, the bookstore where she had spent entire afternoons, the old oak tree at the corner of her street, it all felt alive and welcoming, like the town had been waiting for her return. She walked slowly, savoring the calm. Her mind wandered to memories of her younger self, carefree, hopeful, and unaware of heartbreak. She wondered if she had lost that person entirely in the rush of the city life. Maybe tonight, she could find her again. The Lantern Festival was in full swing, and the river glimmered with tiny lights. Families and friends laughed along the banks. Clara smiled, sipping her coffee, and let herself feel a strange mixture of joy and melancholy, and then she heard it, a voice she hadn't expected. "Clara?" Her heart skipped a beat. She froze, turning slowly. Standing there, under the warm glow of a street lamp, was Michael. Time had changed him, softened him, yet he was unmistakably the same boy she had loved quietly in high school, the boy she had never confessed her feelings to. Part 2, The First Conversation. Michael's eyes were brighter than she remembered, full of stories untold. "I didn't think I'd see you here," he said, almost shyly. "I came back for the festival. And I was hoping I might find you." Clara felt warmth spread through her chest. For a moment, words failed her. Then she smiled. "I never missed it," she said softly. They walked along the streets together, careful not to step on the glowing lanterns that had been released into the night sky. Their conversation began cautiously, polite at first, discussing her city life and his travels. But gradually, it became personal. They laughed at old memories, shared regrets, and spoke about dreams they had once had but abandoned. The night wrapped around them like a comforting blanket. The glow of the lanterns mirrored in their eyes, softening every fear. Clara noticed how natural it felt to be with him, as if no years had passed at all. Part 3, Confessions. Finally, they stopped at the bridge over the river. The water reflected the lanterns like thousands of tiny stars. Michael took a deep breath, and for the first time, Clara saw vulnerability in him, a crack in the confident facade he had always held. "I never told you. But I loved you back then," he said quietly. "I was too scared, too unsure of myself. And then I left, thinking it was the only way." Clara's chest tightened. She remembered the letters she had never sent, the nights she spent imagining how things might have been. "I loved you too," she whispered, her voice trembling. A gentle silence fell between them. Only the river and the lanterns moved, carrying away their fears and regrets. Clara realized that some love didn't disappear, it just waited for the right moment to be spoken. Part 4, Choosing Each Other. The lanterns continued to float, one by one, drifting toward the sky. Michael held her hands firmly, and for the first time in years, Clara felt completely safe. "I don't want to waste any more time," he said. "I want to start here, with you." Clara's tears reflected the lantern lights. "Then let's," she replied, finally giving voice to the hope she had kept hidden. They released a lantern together, watching it drift slowly into the night. It carried their unspoken promises, their fears, and the weight of years apart. They watched it rise, higher and higher, until it became a tiny speck among the stars. In that moment, Clara understood something profound. Love didn't need to be immediate, perfect, or even painless. Sometimes, it was quiet, patient, and waiting, like a lantern floating gently on the water, until the moment was finally ready. And tonight, their moment had arrived. Part 5, A New Beginning. The festival went on around them, the laughter and music mixing with the crisp night air. Clara and Michael walked slowly along the riverbank, talking about the future without fear, planning small adventures, sharing dreams they had never dared to speak aloud. Autumn leaves swirled around them as if the universe itself was celebrating their reunion. Clara felt a warmth she hadn't known in years, a love steady, alive, and real. The lanterns continued to float, illuminating the path ahead. And as they walked, hand in hand, Clara realized that sometimes love wasn't about fireworks or grand declarations. Sometimes, it was simply about choosing each other, again and again, in quiet, beautiful moments. The night ended, but their story had only begun.